So we're at the Fully Charged show in Vancouver, BC. And as you know, all things Tesla are exciting. And what's more exciting? Maybe a little company called Edison Motors. How cool would that be? So anyway, I'm Brian. How's it going?
Hey, Brian. It's Matt.
Yeah. And this is Matt from Edison Motors.
Hey, y'all.
Well, what do we got going on here? This is a big, mean machine that's built for purpose rather than aesthetics. Talk to me.
Yeah, this truck is the Edison Motors L750 for 750 horse. It's a tandem axle drive, fully electric drive truck. It's made for vocational purposes, so we're actually catering to working people. So people that use their trucks to get dirty. I myself am a log truck driver from 100 Mile House, BC, and I can't wait to take one of these out into the bush and try and wreck it, because the torque is going to be unbelievable on these things. And
so we were talking a minute ago, or you were talking rather, about the whole issue of regen. Because, I don't know if you know this, but trees grow on hills. And you load it up, and what do? You drive up the hill, somebody chops that bastard down, you load up the truck, and then what happens?
Well, and then we need to get down to the mill, and luckily they put the mills usually at the bottom of a hill in some small town in a valley, like mine is, so the trees are at the top. You go and cut them down, and you're heading up empty, and using your battery power to get up there. And the idea would be you turn around and you take 63 tons and you push it downhill. You take all that regenerative power that would be otherwise lost in just brakes or engine braking or gear reduction, and you take that and you shove it back into the battery. So by the time you get to the mill, the idea would be you had more power than when you first left. So you do that over and over.
One of the questions would be, do you know what a brake job costs on a normal truck like this? It's got to be thousands, right?
Yep, absolutely.
And this is going to have fewer brake jobs.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, I had a lot of stories of the guys running Teslas and stuff like that, and they're like, oh, I went 100,000 miles and I haven't changed brake pads yet, or whatever the case may be. And you know, it's yet to be proven, but there's no way this thing is going to use more brakes than any other trucks. I'm looking forward to loading it up, heading down the Coquihalla at 80, 90 kilometers an hour, and under full control and regen power.
And it's certainly going to be less brake, because the biggest part is normally when you're heading downhill, you're in gear, you're wasting fuel, you're also burning brake. And the big thing is this is not an aesthetically beautiful beast because it doesn't have to be.
Nope. It's not built for people who want a plastic truck necessarily. It is built for the working man, the working woman, and ready to go to work. All the components on it are very interchangeable. They're sourced from your local truck store all over North America. You don't like something about the truck, you can take it off and change it. I mean, these components, like this is plate stainless steel, and we just bolted some holes where we needed them to put some handles. Everything is changeable. You get in a little fender bender or something like this, you probably won't hurt the truck, but you can weld on it. The entire floorboard is made of metal. Like, you put a mat on it, but it doesn't take anything to fix it or to pry it back together.
So what's this tank here for?
The tank. So we do have an onboard diesel generator. So the best way to think about this truck is it is a fully electric truck, but it has a level 3 fast charger on it. So it has up front, it has got a diesel generator, Cat C9, and that generates power when you need it. So, maybe you're not going up the hill and down the hill regenerating as much as you'd like, and you need to charge for half an hour. Go ahead and do that. So that's why you got diesel fuel tanks to carry you through the day.
And you've got 2 of these built?
Got 2 of these built. One is a rebuild or a remanufactured truck that we had. It's a 1962 Kenworth. And this one is a complete ground up from frame rails. Every single bolt went on here by our mechanics and our log truck drivers and the enthusiasts that came by the shop to give a hand. So it was really a labor of love. There's a lot of blood and sweat in this truck, but we made the deadline and we made the show. So that's the important thing.
And you're critical components, your batteries, your motors, come from people who already do that well.
Yes.
So your your motors are from China. You went over there,
Yeah.
talked with the suppliers in person, found stuff that is actually going to get you the horsepower, the torque.
Absolutely, yeah.
And the batteries are from,
Uh,
I assume, China too.
yes, they are. They changed suppliers at the last minute when they were out there. It was actually a really good part of the trip. They were able to go there. They had an idea of which manufacturer they wanted to go with, and then completely met with them and actually changed their mind at the last and said, no, we're going to go a different direction. So,
And that's something you were able to do this early on quite easily.
absolutely.
And and is it, I assume, lithium ion rather than LFP because
That's right.
you need a little more kick?
Yeah, a little more kick, faster discharge and charge.
Okay. And so what's the plan from here? What comes next?
Well, this is where we got in 2 years. I'm really excited to see where we get over the next 2 years, but we'll be looking for.
Will you have one or two out for testing?
Yeah, like this truck will go through 6 months of intensive testing. Like it's a show truck, but it's going to be the cleanest it's ever going to be is right now. It's going to get dirty from here on out.
And when you say testing, you mean in practical use?
Absolutely. So I like I said, I'm a log truck driver from 100 Mile. So I'll take this truck for 3 weeks at a time, take it up there, go beat on it, find out what works, what we need to improve, maybe locations of things, maybe some rub points.
So if you're more than 100 miles from juice, you just run the generator.
That's right. That's right.
And if you are within 100 miles, you stay
just
on
plug in.
electric.
Yeah, so this truck is great for people like myself. I went ahead and put a bunch of solar panels on my roof. So my plan would be once I own, an EV car or an EV van or a Edison truck, that I would be able to just come home at the end of the day, plug her in, maybe pull off my battery stores that I've stored up during the day, or just use that excess power from, 2 o'clock when I get home until sunset sort of thing, and get basically free power for the next day of work.
So what I hear you saying is, while yes, a battery electric, while yes, kind of a hybrid, it's less of a hybrid and more of a battery car that has a generator in case.
Absolutely. It's not a very great, hybrid's not a very fitting word, I don't find, for this
Right,
truck.
because it's not.
It's not. It's a full EV truck
With more
that
range.
has
A range
range
extender.
extender. It's
Yeah.
a great name for it because that's exactly what it does. It lets you get
Yeah.
further down the road where, in the future we're not going to be able to all pull our trucks in at 6 o'clock at night and all charge while we go for dinner
Right.
at
And
the
the
fuel
big,
pumps.
the big problem people have with hybrids is they're a half measure.
Right.
But if this needs to get 500 miles from the nearest infrastructure,
Right.
a battery truck is never going to do that.
No, and then that's the case. I mean, and that's my case too. I mean, 100 Mile House, I'm not even anywhere near dealerships. I'm nowhere near. We've got 2 bulk diesel plants in town, and that's all we have. And then one little car charging system there. So it's not something that people can plug their trucks in at the end of the day. So if you don't have your own source for something, then you're either looking at your regeneration capacities on your haul, or fire on that diesel motor for a few hours every day. But it's going to be considerably less diesel over the long term, over the lifespan. Where it's all estimated savings right now, but with at least 50% reduction in your diesel cost, and that's a huge component of any haul that anyone's on is diesel. It probably at least 40, maybe up to 60% of your invoice is basically just your diesel. So any you can save there goes right back into your pocket.
And in Canada, diesel we're talking $2 a liter.
Yeah.
So that's like $8-10 a gallon in freedom units when we translate both of them.
Right.
So that ends up being creating quite an opportunity. And in BC, you've got hydro, so your power is not crazy expensive.
Yeah, and even being able to plug in, if you have any opportunity to do that, you're using generally hydroelectric dam power. It's clean. You can feel good about what you're doing at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do on my house, basically, with those solar panels that I've installed. And the idea would be to charge right there at home with stuff I've generated. And
Yeah. So I guess my question would be for you at home: what did we miss? What did we misunderstand? What should I have asked about this pretty cool pretty ugly utilitarian beast. Utilitarian, utility beast, you get the idea. So let us know.
Beast is a good word.
It is a beast, though, because it doesn't have to be pretty. It has to be functional. It has to get the job done. And I don't want to pay, my company won't pay an extra 20 grand for it to be pretty.
That's right.
So what do we miss? What do we misunderstand? Let us know. Stay tuned. Stay juicy. Can't wait to hear from the clever robots on the Flippity Flop. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.